Hello guys and welcome to the video. Today we're going to review the DJI smallest ever camera which can record smooth 60 fps 4K video. I thought this is a good time to record a review on this camera now that the second generation is out, the DJI Osmo Pocket 2. So this camera is 2 years old now, but we're going to review it so we can see if it's a good buy for 2020 or if it's a good buy overall, now that the price drops for around $250. Just a quick note before we start, this is not my camera. I'm working on a project, so they give me two of these cameras so I can work on it. And I also have a DJI Mavic Mini, but we will leave that for another video. So first of all, we are going to start with the specifications of the camera, and then we're going to take it out to make a real life review. So let's begin. So first of all, let's start with the dimensions. The dimensions of the DJI Osmo Pocket are 12.19 by 3.69 by 2.8, and it only weighs around 120 grams. Now here you can see a clip how it compares to my phone. This is just ridiculous. It has a 1 of 2.3 CMOS sensor with 12 megapixels. It has a maximum aperture of f2, and the camera has 80-degree field of view. For the photography side, as I said, it has 12 megapixels and a maximum resolution of 4000 by 3000 pixels and a format of JPEG and a RAW DNG. For the video, it has a 4K at maximum 60 fps and a 1080p slow motion in 120 fps. And the most important thing is it has a mechanically stabilized 3-axis gimbal. On the front, it has a 1.08-inch LCD touchscreen. For the audio, it has two microphones, one located at the bottom of the camera on the left side and one on the front under the touchscreen. For the charging, you can use a USB-C charging cable, and yes, the Osmo Pocket comes without charging cable. I don't know why, but yeah, and one full battery should last you for about 140 minutes. Now that we are at the battery, you can use any charger that you're using at some of your phones, maybe if you have an Android with a USB-C. If not, I'm sorry, but you should buy yourself a charger separately from the camera. For the storage, it has one microSD card slot which can go up to 256 gigabytes. Aside from the photos and videos, you can also make a panoramic photos, time lapses and motion lapses, which is a time lapse where the camera actually moves. If you want some additional settings, you can connect your phone to the camera with the little adapter that comes with the camera, and download the DJI Mimo app on your phone so you can use that additional settings. If you swipe up, you can see that you have recenter option, you have a flip option, you have a slow follow or fast follow, and you have a tilt locked or tilt unlocked. If you swipe down, you can see there's more options. If you click on the option, you can see there the battery percentage, you have a tilt control, a calibration, the power off after 5 minutes. If you swipe left, you have the storage, you have an anti-flicker, which is really cool depending on where you live. You can just switch between 60 Hz and 50 Hz. You have accessories more, and you have a key tone on or off. If you just swipe down, just to the left, you can see that we have a square video here, maybe for Instagram. We have AFS here. We have a Pro mode, which will record in 1080p 25 frames per second. You have the brightness and some other things, and that's it. I think that's everything you need to know from the specifications. Now let's take this camera out on a real life so we can see if this camera is any good. Is it right for you? Is it worth your money? And who should buy it? Let's go. Now before we start, to start up the camera, click and hold on the right button until it turns on. To change a setting, just swipe right, and there you can change your setting. You can change between all the modes that this camera offers and change the settings for that particular mode. To start recording, click on the record button on the left. So that was some raw footage from the DJI Osmo Pocket in 4K 60 FPS. I was walking down the street so I can just see how the stabilizer works. So this camera really surprised me. It has a good video quality and a good stabilization. It also has some pretty impressive features like the face track, where you can double tap on someone's face and it will track that face properly. If you go left, right, up, down, it will still track that particular face. To turn the selfie mode on, you can do that from the swipe up menu, or you can just triple tap on the right button so we can flip the camera off to see if it's any good for vlogging. So let's go. Okay, so this is the selfie mode on the camera, and I'm using the internal microphone of this camera so to see how it sounds. Okay, after reviewing the footage from the vlogging aspect, I can see that the video quality, it's pretty good, and it also has enough room behind me. Now note that you can really use the face track in 4K in selfie mode. Okay, you can only do that in 1080p, but that's not a problem, because I think that 1080p is enough. For the sound, if there's no one around you, the sound is pretty good, but if there's a lot of people in the background, cars in the background, the sound it's not the best. You can use an external microphone, but I don't think that's the best choice for this camera, because the microphone will be much bigger than the camera. You can see that this camera is pretty small, and if you put any kind of microphone there, it will just look bad and it will hard to use. Also, we can see how the stabilizer works. I made some bumpy footage when I was just walking like this to see how it goes, so you can see that it's pretty smooth. There is a little bit of movement, but you can just fix that in post. Okay, so here we are in a low light situation. I don't know how it's gonna look. Let's see. I'm just recording it and we're gonna see it after. So you can see that for a low light situations, it's not the best. There's a lot of noise, a lot of grain. So if you want to record with this camera, you just record daytime, or if you have a good lighting setup at your home, you can use that. But for some low light situations, just don't use it, because the quality is pretty bad. Now, final thoughts on this camera. Now, this camera, it's small, it's light, and it's perfect. You can just put it in your pocket and you can go out and shoot your videos. If you want to do vlogging, this is the perfect camera for you. Instead of just holding your heavy DSLR in your hand, you can just pull this out of your pocket and just record yourself in no time. With the DSLR, you're gonna go with your backpack, unpack the DSLR, put the lens on, put the right settings, and then record yourself. And with this one, that's not a problem. Just pull it out of your pocket and record yourself immediately. It also has some impressive features like the slow motion in 120 FPS, the face track, and the motion labs, which is something new in the camera like this. Okay, so would I recommend this camera? Now that depends, because if you just want to record vlogs, if you want to record some normal videos, you can just go for it. For $250 you can't find anything better. But if you want more serious videos like YouTube videos, if you want to get into photography, I suggest you go for a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, because this little camera, it's not for static videos. If you already have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera and you just want a secondary camera which can record your faster movements or cinematic sequences, you can definitely go for it, because for 250 euros now you can get a pretty good camera. So the answer to the question is yes and no. That depends on you and your budget. After watching this video, you can decide that, or you can just watch more videos on this camera on YouTube and you can decide that yourself. I hope you enjoyed this review, probably the first one on my channel. I mostly do tutorial videos, but this channel is about filmmaking, so I said why not, because I already have these two cameras. I also have a DJI Mavic Mini, as I said before, so I might record a video on that as well. I'm also preparing a new tutorial video, so stay tuned. If you like that video, like it and subscribe to the channel so you can see more content like this one. Until then, peace.